You're 23 in a beige cubicle on the fourth floor of a building you can't see from the street. The carpet smells like old coffee and synthetic lemon. The fluorescent lights hum at a frequency that sits just behind your eyes. Your headset weighs nothing, but after 8 hours it leaves a dent above your left ear that takes an hour to fade. The air conditioning runs too cold in summer, too warm in winter, and the thermostat is locked behind a panel only facility management can access. You're wearing business casual, khakis, a button-down shirt from Target, shoes that seemed comfortable in the store. Your badge hangs from a lanyard around your neck with your first name, your employee number, and a barcode that opens the bathroom doors. Outside, through the window you can't open, you can see the parking lot. Your car is in Section C, Row 7. You know this because you park there every day. Beyond the parking lot is a highway. Beyond the highway is a shopping center with a Panera and a Best Buy. Beyond that, you assume, is the rest of your life. But you're not there. You're
All right,
here.
let's begin.
The woman in the cube
new
next to
bathroom
you is
policy is now
crying
in effect.
quietly.
Sign-in sheet
She's
will
been
be at the
crying
door.
for 6
Please
minutes.
adhere to the new
You know
guidelines.
because you can see the call timer on her screen when you lean back. She's on a call with someone screaming about a charge they didn't authorize. You've heard this call 400 times, maybe
This is
more.
for the best.
You don't turn
This
to
is
look
for
at
the
her
best.
anymore.
This is for the best.
Across the
This is
floor,
for the
a
best.
supervisor is standing behind someone's chair, arms crossed. The person at the desk is very still. Their screen is visible from here. Performance metrics, red numbers. You look away.
So, what if the data is corrupted
The break room
mid-process?
microwave beeps every 30 seconds. Someone's lunch
goes
has been
wrong,
done for 4
everyone here is
minutes, but they
finished.
haven't come to get it yet. Probably still on a call. You can't leave a call to get your food. The food gets cold. You eat it cold or
Jordan,
you don't eat.
Is this right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Your
Don't worry
phone
about
is
it.
in your
Wait,
locker.
what?
You're not
can't be
allowed
right.
to have it on the floor.
just
Screen
disposable?
breaks are monitored.
Disposable? What do you
Bathroom
mean?
breaks are tracked. Someone once told you the company bought software that predicts when you're about to quit based on your bathroom frequency.
I was just doing my
You
job
don't know if
correctly.
that's true. It sounds true. At 4:47 p.m., a man 3 rows over stands up, takes off his headset, sets it carefully on his desk, and walks toward the elevator. He doesn't say anything. His screen is still logged in.
The
His
punishment
call
for
is
trying
still
to-
active. You can hear the customer asking if anyone is there.
It's just
No
the
one
way it
goes to
is.
help.
But that makes
The
no sense.
supervisor watches
It is
him
what it
leave,
is.
makes a note on her tablet, and moves on. You have 17 minutes left in your shift. Your next call is already queued. Something here doesn't end. It accumulates. You're 7 years old in your grandmother's kitchen. The linoleum is yellow with brown flowers that were popular in 1974. The refrigerator hums. Your grandmother is making rice and beans, and the smell fills the entire house, warm and thick and safe. Your sister is doing homework at the table. Your mother is on the phone in the next room, laughing about something you don't understand. You have a toy car. It's red. One of the wheels doesn't turn right anymore, but you don't care. You push it across the floor, making engine sounds, and your grandmother tells you to be quieter, but she's smiling. The sun comes through the window at an angle that turns everything gold. You are not worried about anything. You're 10 and your mother works at the mall. She sells perfume at a counter near the food court. Sometimes after school, you sit on the bench outside her store and do your homework and watch people walk by. She smiles at everyone. She sprays little cards with perfume and hands them out. She wears all black and her name tag says Maria, and underneath it says fragrance specialist. At the end of her shift, her face looks different, tighter. She doesn't smile in the car. She asks about your day and you tell her and she nods, but you can tell she's somewhere else. When you get home, she takes off her shoes and lies on the couch and closes her eyes, and you know not to bother her for at least an hour. One day you ask her if she likes her job. She looks at you for a long time, Then she says, "It's a job." You're 13 and you need new shoes. Your mother takes you to the outlet mall on a Saturday. While she's looking at prices, you wander into the phone store.
This is
A man is
ridiculous.
yelling at the woman behind the counter.
Please calm down.
She's young, maybe
I won't
20, and she's
calm down.
apologizing
I'm
over and
sorry,
over,
there's
but the
nothing
man
more
keeps
I can
yelling.
do.
He's saying she's incompetent. He's saying this is unacceptable. He's saying he's going to report her. She's crying, not loud, just tears running down her face while she tries to smile and apologize at the same time. The man finally leaves. She goes to the back room. You can hear her breathing in there, fast and shallow. Your mother finds you and pulls you away. In the car, she's quiet. Then she says, "Don't ever work retail." You ask why not. She doesn't answer. You're 15 and your friend Marcus works at the grocery store. He bags groceries and collects carts from the parking lot. He makes $8 an hour. He says it's easy. He says the managers are okay. He says it's boring, but whatever. One day you visit him during his shift. He's wearing a green polo shirt and a name tag and a smile that looks like it's painted on. A woman snaps her fingers at him and points at her cart. He says, "Yes, ma'am," and starts bagging. She doesn't look at him. After she leaves, his smile drops. He looks at you. For a second you see something in his face you don't have words for yet. Then the smile comes back and he shrugs. "Easy money," he says. You're 17 and you need a job. College is 2 years away and your mother says you need to save. Your guidance counselor gives you a list of places that hire high school students. Fast food, retail, customer service, call centers. You apply everywhere. Most places don't call back. The call center does. The building is 40 minutes away, off the highway, surrounded by parking lots and other identical buildings. The interview is in a white room with a table and 3 chairs. The woman asking questions is maybe 35, and she seems tired in a way that has nothing to do with sleep. She asks why you want to work here. You say you need money for college. She nods like she's heard this 1,000 times. She probably has. She asks if you're comfortable talking on the phone for 8 hours a day. You say yes. You've never done it, but you need this job. She asks if you can handle difficult people. You say yes. She looks at you for a moment. Then she says, "You start Monday." You're not excited. You're relieved. There's a difference. The building looks bigger up close. 5 floors of beige siding and tinted windows that don't open. The parking lot is full of cars that are 7 to 12 years old. A Toyota Camry, a Honda Civic, a Ford Focus. No luxury cars, no trucks, just practical vehicles driven by people who need them to run and can't afford for them not to. The lobby smells like industrial cleaner and instant coffee. There's a security desk but no security guard. There's a sign that says all visitors must check in, but there's no one to check in with. You stand there for 3 minutes before someone walks by and tells you to take the elevator to the 4th floor. The 4th floor is an open space divided into cubicles. The cubicles are arranged in rows. Each row has 25 cubes. There are 12 rows. You do the math. 300 people work on this floor, maybe more. A woman meets you at the elevator. Her name is Sandra. She's holding a clipboard and a badge with your name already printed on it. She doesn't shake your hand. She hands you the badge and tells you to follow her. She walks fast. You pass rows of people sitting in cubes, wearing headsets, staring at screens. No one looks up. The sound is constant, voices overlapping, phones ringing, keyboards clicking, the hum of fluorescent lights and air conditioning, and 300 people breathing in a space that smells like recycled air. Sandra takes you to a room labeled training. Inside are 11 other people. They're all your age, maybe younger. They look nervous. You sit down. By the time the trainer, a man named Derek who's maybe 40 and looks 60, starts talking, you've learned two things. No one here chose this and everyone here needs it. Your childhood doesn't end with graduation. It ends with Derek explaining that the bathroom is a privilege, not a right. The first thing they take is your name. Not literally, you still have your name, but when you answer the phone, you don't use it. You use the name the system assigns you. The system assigns you Jordan because your real name is too ethnic and difficult for customers to pronounce. This is explained to you by Sandra in the same tone she uses to explain where the break room is. You are now Jordan. Jordan has no last name. Jordan has no history. Jordan exists only between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, with a 30-minute lunch and two 15-minute breaks that you will almost never actually get to take because the call queue doesn't stop. They give you a headset. It's black plastic, lightweight, with a foam microphone cover that smells like the breath of everyone who wore it before you. You adjust it. It doesn't fit right. You adjust it again. It still doesn't fit right. You stop adjusting it. They give you a script. The script is 14 pages long. It covers every possible customer interaction, every possible problem, every possible objection. You are required to memorize it. Deviation from the script results in a coaching session. 3 coaching sessions result in a written warning. 3 written warnings result in termination. The script begins. Thank you for calling. My name is Jordan. How may I provide you with excellent service today? You practice saying this. It feels unnatural in your mouth. The trainer tells you to smile while you say it. He says customers can hear a smile. You don't know if this is true. You smile anyway. They give you a login. Your login is your employee number plus your first initial plus your last initial. You type it in. The screen loads. You are now in the system. The system is green text on a black background. It looks like something from 1987. It probably is from 1987. The company has been using the same software since before you were born. It crashes approximately 40 times per shift. When it crashes, you are still expected to help the customer. How you help the customer when you cannot access their account is not explained. Derek tells you about metrics. Metrics are everything. Metrics determine your schedule, your raises, your continued employment, your existence within this building. The metrics are average handle time, AHT, how long you spend on each call. Target is under 6 minutes. Shorter is better. First call resolution, FCR, whether the customer's problem is solved on the first call. Target is 85%. Customer satisfaction, CSAT, how the customer rates you at the end of the call. Target is 90%. Adherence, whether you're logged in and available when you're supposed to be. Target is 98%. Quality assurance, QA, whether you followed the script and all policies correctly. Target is 95%. Derek explains that these metrics often contradict each other. You cannot have a short handle time and high first call resolution. You cannot follow all policies and have high customer satisfaction. You cannot maintain adherence and take care of yourself. He does not explain how to resolve these contradictions. When someone asks, he says, "You'll figure it out." Top to bottom, team lead, supervisor, manager, director, VP. But none of that really matters because the metrics decide everything. And the metrics are controlled by people you will never meet in a corporate office 3 states away who have never answered a customer service call in their lives. On your 3rd day of training, a woman in the back row asks what happens if you get sick. Derek says you call out. If you call out more than 3 times in 6 months, you get a written warning. She asks what if it's an emergency. He says that's what the 3 times are for. She asks what if there are more than 3 emergencies. He looks at her. Then you need to decide what's more important. On your 5th day of training, Derek plays a recorded call. It's a customer screaming at a representative about a billing error. The screaming lasts for 4 minutes. The representative stays calm, follows the script, resolves the issue. Derek pauses the recording. This, he says, is a perfect call. Someone asks about the screaming. Derek says, the customer has a right to be upset. Someone asks if the representative is okay. Derek looks confused by the question. Then he says, she got a 98 on quality assurance for this call. On your 7th day of training, you take your first live call. The customer is calling about a charge they don't recognize. You pull up their account. You see the charge. It's legitimate. It's clearly labeled. They authorized it 3 weeks ago. You explain this. You're polite, you're clear, you follow the script. The customer calls you a liar. Then they call you something worse. Then they demand a supervisor. You put them on hold. You message your team lead. Your team lead messages back. Resolve it yourself. You return to the call. You apologize for the inconvenience. You offer to review the charge again. The customer screams that you're wasting their time. Your handle time is now 8 minutes. Your target is 6. You waive the charge. You're not authorized to waive charges over $25. This charge is $47. You waive it anyway. The customer thanks you. They disconnect. You get a 100% satisfaction score. 2 hours later, you get pulled into a coaching session for waiving an unauthorized charge. You explain what happened. Your supervisor, a woman named Michelle who is 26 and looks 40, nods. She says she understands. She says you still can't do it. You ask what you should have done. She says followed the process. You ask what the process is. She says escalate to a supervisor. You say your team lead told you to resolve it yourself. She says you should have escalated anyway. You sit there. The room is very small and very white and smells like Michelle's perfume, which is too strong and probably from the same mall counter where your mother used to work. Michelle types something on her computer. She prints a piece of paper. She slides it across the desk. This is a verbal warning, she says. It goes in your file. 3 of these and you get a written warning. You sign the paper. You are 17 years old and you have a file. It continues. You learn to cry without making sound. You learn to do this while on a call, while staring at your screen, while maintaining your smile so the customer can hear it. You learn which bathroom stall is most private. You learn to time your breakdowns to your 15-minute breaks, which you rarely get, so mostly you learn not to break down at all. You learn which customers will scream and which will threaten and which will say things about your intelligence, your competence, your worth, your race, your gender, your presumed sexual orientation, your mother, your future, your right to exist. You learn to say, I understand your frustration in 17 different ways. None of them help. You learn that some customers call just to scream at someone. You learn that you are someone. You learn that when the system crashes, You're supposed to troubleshoot it while staying on the line with the customer, which means you're explaining why you can't help them while frantically trying to make the software work. And your handle time is climbing, and the customer is getting angrier, and there's nothing you can do. You learn that when you escalate to a supervisor, the supervisor will sometimes refuse to take the call. You learn that when this happens, you're supposed to reset customer expectations, which means lie to them about what you can do, and then try to resolve an issue you're not trained to resolve, with tools you don't have access to, while maintaining your metrics. You learn that the company monitors your calls, not all of them, random ones. You never know which call is being recorded for quality assurance purposes. You learn to perform every call like it's being monitored because it might be. You learn that the script changes without warning. Someone updates the language in the system, and suddenly you're saying the wrong thing, and you didn't know the thing changed, and you get marked down on your QA score for not knowing something you had no way of knowing. You learn that customers lie. They lie about what they were told. They lie about what they ordered. They lie about charges they authorized, emails they received, conversations they had. You have the records. You can see the truth, but you're not allowed
Hello.
to call them liars.
Thank you for calling.
You're supposed
How
to
can I
say,
assist you
I
today?"
see there may have been some confusion. You learn that some of your coworkers are good at this. They have high metrics. They smile more. They seem fine. You learn that they're not fine. You learn this when you find one of them sitting in their car in the parking lot at 6:30 p.m., an hour after shift ended,
Impossible
staring
sentence.
at nothing. You
I
learn
understand the
that
situation,
turnover
but
is
the evidence
high.
shows otherwise.
People disappear. New people arrive. You stop learning their names because they probably won't be here in 3 months. You learn that your team lead, Marcus. Different Marcus, not your friend. This Marcus is 32 and has been here for 8 years. Drinks at lunch. You can smell it when he comes
Hi, I
back.
see you're interested.
You
For
learn
just a
that
bit more,
no
you can
one
upgrade and
says
get
anything
exclusive
about
features.
this because Marcus
Still
has
only
good
2.
metrics and that's all that matters. You learn that there's a quota for how many
Initiating
calls
data
you need to
sequence.
transfer
Inputting
to the
values now.
sales queue.
Processing complete.
You're supposed to identify opportunities and warm transfer customers to sales. If you don't hit your quota, it affects your
I just
performance
feel so
review.
alone.
You learn
No
to
one
wedge
understands what
sales
I'm going
pitches
through.
into conversations with people who are already angry, which makes them angrier, which lowers your CSAT score, which also affects your performance review. You learn that these contradictions are not accidents. They're features. They keep you unstable. They keep you trying. They keep you easier to replace. For almost a year, you navigate this. You improve. Your
This policy
AHT
forces
drops
such
to
cruelty. It breaks my heart.
547.
I can't
Your
bear the pain it
FCR
causes.
climbs to 87%. Your adherence is 99.2%. You are becoming efficient. Then you're offered a promotion. Level 2 support. It comes with a raise, 75 cents more per hour. You'll handle escalated calls, more complex issues, angrier customers, but it's upward movement, it's something. You accept. Your first week in level 2, you take a call from a man whose service has been disconnected. He's calling from a payphone. His mother is on hospice care at home. She needs the internet for her medical monitoring equipment. The service was disconnected due to non-payment. The account is 63 days past due. You can see all of this on your screen. You can also see that he's called 4 times in the past week. Each time, someone promised to reconnect the service. Each time, it didn't happen. He's not yelling, he's begging. You check the notes. The service can't be reconnected until the past due balance is paid. The balance is $347. He doesn't have it. He'll have it Friday when he gets paid. Today is Tuesday. There's no policy for this. There's no exception process for medical emergencies. There's a number he can call for financial assistance,
I'm sorry,
but
but I'm
that
unable to
process
process
takes
that request
7
as
to
it
10
violates our
business
company
days.
policy.
You tell him this. Your voice is steady. You've learned to keep it steady. He asks if there's anything you can do. You say you're sorry, but no. He's quiet for a moment. Then he says she might not make it to Friday. You're quiet too. He says, please. You check the system again. There's nothing, no override, no emergency protocol, nothing. You tell him you're going to check with your supervisor. You put him on hold. You message Michelle. She messages back, policy is policy, offer payment arrangements. You return to the call. You offer payment arrangements. He'd need to pay half now and half Friday. He doesn't have half now. You sit there, staring at your screen at this man's account, at the notes from the previous representatives who all said the same thing you're about to say. You tell him there's nothing you can do. He hangs up. Your handle time was 14 minutes. Your target is 8. You get a message from Michelle. See me after your shift. After your shift,
Jordan,
Michelle
your
tells you
metrics are
that you
down this
spent
quarter.
too long
We
on
need to
that
see
call.
improvement.
She asks why you didn't resolve it faster. You explain the situation. She nods. She says she understands. She says you still need to manage your time better. You ask what you should have done. She says followed the process. You don't ask what the process is. You know what the process is. The process is telling people no in 6 minutes or less. You go home. You don't eat. You sit in your car in your apartment complex parking lot and watch the sun go down through the windshield. You're 18 years old, and you understand that helping people is not part of your job. Your neck starts hurting, not during calls, after, at night. A constant ache that runs from the base of your skull to between your shoulder blades. You buy a better pillow. It doesn't help. You buy pain medication. It helps for 3 hours. Your eyes get worse. The screen is bright and you stare at it for 8 hours a day, and sometimes you blink and realize you haven't blinked in over a minute and your eyes are dry and burning. You buy eye drops. You use them 6 times a shift. Your hands start to tingle. The keyboard and mouse, 8 hours a day. The tingling turns to numbness. The numbness turns to pain. You wear a wrist brace. It helps a little, not enough. You get sick, a cold, then another cold, then a sinus infection. You use 2 of your 3 call-outs. You come to work with the sinus infection because you can't afford to use the 3rd. You sit in your cube, feverish, answering calls. Your voice sounds wrong. Customers ask if you're okay. You say you're fine, you're not fine. Your metrics drop. Your AHT climbs to 712 because you're moving slower, thinking slower, and Michelle sends you a message. Everything okay? You message back, yes. She messages, AHT is high today. You don't respond. At lunch, you sit in your car and close your eyes. You set an alarm for 28 minutes. You need 2 minutes to walk back inside. You fall asleep. The alarm wakes you. You walk back inside. Your friends stop inviting you places. Not because they don't like you, because you're never available. You work Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Sometimes mandatory overtime on Saturdays. They make plans on Friday nights and you're too tired. They make plans on Saturdays and you're working. They make plans on Sundays and you're dreading Monday. Eventually they stop asking. Your mother asks how work is going. You say it's fine. She looks at you like she knows you're lying. She doesn't push, you're grateful. Marcus, your friend Marcus, not team lead Marcus, texts you one day. Says he heard you're working at the call center. Says his cousin worked there. Says his cousin quit after 4 months. Says it messed her up pretty bad. You don't respond. You're 19 when you meet Amanda. She works in level
It's
1,
good to
2
see
rows
you.
over. She's 23.
too.
She's
Thanks
been
for
here for
this.
2 years. She has good metrics. She seems stable. You start taking lunch together.
This
She's
deadline
easy
is
to talk to.
impossible.
She
Tell me
gets it.
about it. The scope
You don't have
keeps
to
changing.
explain why you're
So
tired or
isolated.
why you
At least we
flinched
have
when
this.
someone raised their voice in the break room or why you check your metrics 7 times a shift. One day she tells you she's applying to other jobs. She says she's been applying for 6 months. She's had 3 interviews. No offers. You ask why.
It's a permanent
She says
thing,
they
Jordan.
see call center experience and they think you can't do anything else. You ask if that's true. She looks at you. I don't know anymore. You're 20 when the floor gets reorganized. New cubes, new seats, new team lead. Her name is Patricia. She's 28 and she's been with the company for 6 years and she has perfect metrics and perfect attendance and a way of smiling that makes your spine tight. Patricia believes in positivity. She sends group messages every morning. Good morning, team. Let's make today amazing. She decorates her cube with motivational posters. Your attitude determines your altitude. Be the change. Smile, it's contagious. Patricia also believes in performance improvement plans. She puts 3 people on PIPs in the first month. One of them is Amanda. Amanda's crime. Her CSAT dropped to 87%. Target is 90%.
This, Jordan.
The PIP lasts 60 days. Amanda needs to maintain 92% CSAT for 60 consecutive days or she's terminated. Amanda tries. She
I
smiles
understand, but
harder.
our metrics are down.
She follows
Amanda,
the
the
script
CSAT is
perfectly.
spiraling.
I see it.
She takes
We have to
longer
fix
with
this.
customers to ensure satisfaction, which tanks her AHT, which Patricia also monitors. On day 47 of the PIP, Amanda gets a low CSAT score. The customer rated her a 1 out of 5. The customer's comment, nothing wrong with the rep, just upset about the bill. It doesn't matter. The score counts. Amanda's 60-day average drops to 91.3%. She's terminated on day 59. You watch her pack her cube. She doesn't have much. A coffee mug, a sweater, a photo of her dog. She puts it all in a plastic grocery bag. You want to say something. You don't know what to say. She looks at you. Get out of here, she says, as soon as you can. You nod.
Jordan, listen closely.
She
the
leaves.
responsibility is now yours.
You sit back
Good.
down.
Don't
You
fail.
log in. Your next call is already queued. The room goes quiet. You're 22 and you've been here for 5 years. You're a level 3 now. You handle the worst calls. The escalations that went through 2 other reps and a supervisor and a manager and ended up with you. You make $13 an hour. New people arrive. They're 17, 18, 19. They look the way you must have looked, nervous, hopeful, uncertain. You train some of them, you teach them the system. You teach them the scripts. You teach them the metrics. You sound like Derek. You hate that you sound like Derek. You do it anyway. One of them is a girl named Sophie.
So, these
She's
are our key
18.
policies.
It's
As
her
Derek
first
always
job.
says.
She asks a lot of
Sounds
questions.
just like
She's
him.
earnest.
Anyway,
She
continue.
wants to do well. You watch her take her first call. Watch her face change when the
So,
customer
what's the
starts
plan?
yelling.
It's
Watch her
complicated.
try to
Just
follow the
complicated.
script while her hands shake.
Writing it down.
After the call, she looks at you. Does it get easier?
Sophie.
You could lie. You should lie. That's what Derek did.
What
That's
is
what
it?
everyone does.
The project
Please,
You
is
say
Jordan,
no.
tell me the truth.
She blinks.
I can't.
Sophie.
You say you get
It's not
used to it.
good.
That's
Can't
not the
pretend
same
anymore.
thing.
This
What
isn't
is
working.
it?
She nods
Sorry,
slowly.
the project
She
is
logs
over.
back in. Her next call is already queued.
Sophie.
You're 23 when you realize you've become what you feared. You're the person who doesn't look up when someone cries. You're the person who eats lunch alone because it's easier than pretending to care about small talk. You're the person who sees a new hire's hope and feels nothing but tired recognition. You're the person who stays. You think about leaving. You've been thinking about leaving for 3 years. You've applied to 47 jobs. You've had 6 interviews, no offers. The problem is the resume. 5 years of customer service experience. That's all you have. And every interviewer sees it the same way. You're good at being yelled at. You're good at following scripts. You're good at accepting whatever conditions are given to you. They don't say this. They say things like overqualified or not the right fit or we're looking for someone with more diverse experience. What they mean is you've been marked. You think about going back to school. You research programs. You look at costs. You look at your savings. You have $2,400 in your checking account. Tuition for 1 semester at community college is $3,200. You'd have to quit to attend classes. You can't quit because you need the income to save for tuition. The math doesn't work. You think about moving, going somewhere cheaper, starting over. You look at job listings in other cities. They're the same jobs, same pay, same conditions, different area code. You think about different careers. You research what skills you have, customer service, conflict resolution, multitasking, stress management. You look at job postings. They want experience. They want degrees. They want things you don't have. You stay. Normally, this is where someone would quit dramatically. They assume there's a breaking point, a final straw, a moment of clarity that propels them out the door. They don't know about the student loans. They don't know about the rent. They don't know about the fact that your car needs new tires and your health insurance is tied to this job, and your mother mentioned that her hours got cut, and you've been sending her money every month for the past year. They don't know that leaving requires somewhere to go. Survival, you've learned, is never dramatic. It's patient. You're 23 in a beige cubicle on the 4th floor of a building you can't see from the street. Your headset is on. Your screen is green. Your metrics are acceptable. Your next call is queued. The woman calling is upset about a charge. You pull up her account. You see the charge. You explain the charge. She doesn't accept the explanation. She asks for a supervisor. You transfer her to a supervisor. Your handle time is 4:32, under target, good. The next caller is a man who can't access his account. You troubleshoot, the system crashes. You reboot, you troubleshoot again. You resolve the issue. Your handle time is 9:17, over target, bad. The next caller screams at you for 6 minutes. You stay calm. You follow the script. You apologize for the inconvenience. The caller hangs up, rates you 1 out of 5. Your CSAT drops. The next caller is pleasant. They thank you for your help. They rate you 5 out of 5. Your CSAT recovers. This continues. Your neck hurts. Your eyes hurt. Your hands hurt. You take ibuprofen. You use eye drops. You wear your wrist brace. At 12:30, you take lunch. You sit in your car. You eat a sandwich you made last night. You check your phone. 3 texts from your mother, 1 from Marcus. Nothing important. You don't respond. You set an alarm for 28 minutes. You close your eyes. At 6:00, you log out. Your metrics for the day: AHT 623, FCR 86%, CSAT 89%, adherence 98.7%, QA pending. Acceptable. Not great. Acceptable. You drive home. 43 minutes in traffic. You park in your assigned spot. You walk up 2 flights of stairs. You unlock your door. You drop your bag. You take off your shoes. You heat up leftovers. You eat them standing at the counter. You shower. You put on clean clothes. You sit on your couch. You think about tomorrow. Same building, same cubicle, same calls, same metrics, same everything. You think about 5 years ago, your grandmother's kitchen, the yellow linoleum, the smell of rice and beans, the sun through the window, your toy car, your sister doing homework, your mother laughing. You think about 10 years ago, being 7, being small, being safe. Sometimes at night, you think of before. The apartment is quiet, the refrigerator hums. Outside you can hear traffic on the highway. Someone upstairs is walking around. The building settles. You're 23 years old. You make $13 an hour. You have $2,400 in savings and $18,000 in student loans from the semester you tried before you had to drop out. Your car needs new tires. Your mother needs help with rent. Your body hurts in ways that are permanent. You'll wake up tomorrow and you'll do this again, and the day after that, and the day after that. You are still here. You are still breathing. You have not quit. You have not broken. You have not escaped. And that has to be enough.
I understand the frustration.
This is ridiculous! It's broken!
Let me check the logs.
Useless! You're useless!
Can't afford to leave or stay. The bind tightens.